Hi, and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosely, and today we will be joined by Deena Pace and John Wetch. We'll get to them in just a couple of moments. Before we do, we're going to go right into Mike's pet peeves. Now, Mike's pet peeves is strictly my opinion, not the opinion of the board, the Humane Society, Deena, anybody important. It's really just me talking. What really grinds my gears is people that leave shopping carts right in the middle of the parking lot. You know, right there in the middle of the parking spot. Why? Are you so exhausted from walking around Walmart that you can't walk the 14 extra steps to put the grocery cart away? And when you don't do that, now someone comes whipping into the parking spot, slams on their brakes. Now they got to get out of their car, move the shopping cart, get back in their car. By now there's like 5 cars lined up behind them because everybody has to go to that store on Fridays. It's ridiculous. Really, just don't be that guy. Return the shopping cart. It's very common, very nice. What really grinds my gears more than that is when people say we don't have a pet population problem here in the White Mountains. Well, luckily and very happily, the Humane Society has been around for 50 years, which is wonderful. Also, very sad news. That means we have had a problem for a while. In fact, it's actually a nationwide problem. Anytime you watch The Price is Right, for 35 years, Bob Barker told you, remember, spay or neuter your pet. It's that simple. All you have to do to help with the pet population problem is spay or neuter your pets. Even our guest agrees with me. Now, I've had people tell me, well, I can control my dog and you know, things happen in life, and let's face it, there's some people out there that can't even control their teenagers, more or less control their dog and their instincts. So it's just easiest if you do your small part. I know you drive a Prius and you're helping the environment. Now help the pet population and get a spay or neuter for your animal. Now, there's few people in this world that actually want to work themselves out of a job. We're lucky enough to have one of those people. Hi, Deena.
Hi.
Now, spay and neuter, it's a pretty big thing.
Yes.
And it is a problem up here.
It is. Lack of spaying and neutering. Although, to the ones that do it, I want to give you a big hands clap, because we do plenty of spay and neuters, but clearly we need to do more. Right now, our Paws Clinic, because of the Arizona license plate grant that we applied for, and we received $10,000 to help the community spay and neuter their pets. So for $25 they can get a cat spay, and for $35 a dog spay or neuter.
Right.
And that is the cheapest that we will ever be, and that's because that grant pays the difference in that. So when that $10,000 is gone, it's gone. Last year I think we went through $10,000 to help our community in 7 months. That's pretty fast.
That is pretty fast.
So a lot of people did take the opportunity to take advantage of that. The other part of that is the ones that don't.
Right.
You know, take for example, the other night Debbie and I stayed late because there was a lost dog. The lady actually lived in another county. She lived over in Apache County, didn't think her dog would be with us, and it was. And so we ended up staying like 30 minutes late to get her dog. And I said, you know, he was still a pup, under a year, and I said, you know, if you neuter him, that'll help him stay home some too. And she said, my husband is against neutering. I can spay the females, but there's something about neutering the males. I promise the men that are watching this show, it does not hurt you. It doesn't hurt your dog either, and it doesn't make them any less of a male dog.
Right.
You know?
Right.
What it makes you is a smart, responsible pet owner that cares enough to make sure that your animal's not out running the streets, but also to prevent testicular cancer, things like that. I've actually seen dogs come into the shelter with that. And you know, that can be totally preventable by neutering.
Wow.
So I get a kick out of those people that say, well, my husband won't let me neuter my dog.
And as at one point, and you know, working with the Humane Society, I've learned, but at one point in my life, I always had the dream of of having a male stud dog and make money off my dog and everything else. Now working with the Humane Society, not only are those health benefits there, it's A, better for the pet population, and B, better for my household because I don't have to worry about 9 puppies running around.
Absolutely.
Which, it sounds grand to make money, but then again, you have to realize the realities of being a pet owner.
You're right. And if you're going to be a responsible pet owner,
Yes.
the monetary amount of money that you can put into this, you know, and to the overpopulation, you know, I seen something just on Facebook the other day, and this really kind of irks me, so it's kind of going to be my pet peeve, I guess.
Let's do it.
It said, does anyone know where I can find puppies? Yes, as a matter of fact, we did, don't we, John? You can find puppies right at our shelter.
Right.
If you don't want to, you know, the Humane Society, any animal control facility, any, you know, rescue, call them, go up and see them, see what kind of puppies they have available. I cannot tell you, you know, years ago I had this idea in my head that puppies only happened in the springtime, puppies and kittens. And boy, since I came to work here, have I been proven wrong over and over. You know, we've got, we had a mom with 6 puppies come into us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're
Oh, wow.
You know, we've got puppies, I mean, we had a litter of puppies before that. We had a litter of puppies born with us, and we Arizona Border Collie took them, you know, the rescue, because they were Border Collie mixes. And so, you know, puppies, yeah, we have puppies. And yes, you're going to pay a little bit for that adoption fee, but in return, that puppy's going to be spay or neutered, it's going to be microchipped, and it's going to start on its vaccines. And you're going to get a wellness check to the vet of your choice up here.
So, I mean, I am horrible with math, but a wellness check to a vet, let's just toss out, I don't know, 100, 125 maybe. And then the microchip, you charge $25 for that. And then you've got the spay and neuter, which, you know, depending on the size of the dog.
Exactly.
And so I'm already counting $300 worth of value.
Right.
And you're allowing these dogs to go to their dogs and cats to their forever home for 80, 85. Isn't it something ridiculous?
It is. Adult dogs, I believe, are 75 now, and puppies are 125.
Okay.
We finally had to raise our prices this year. And I will tell you, I'm sorry for the community. We didn't have a choice. We have not raised adoption prices or anything in the 11 years I've been there. And the minimum wage law has finally hit us. We have to do this. We lose money on every adoption, which we never make even with our increase.
Right.
But
as we were just totaling that up,
we have to be able to recoup a little bit more from that.
I don't know any business that has not raised their price in 11 years. So that is extremely understandable, and it's the cost of operations to save lives. Yes. Now, John, you're on the front lines of saving lives. By the way, everybody, this is John. You're a kennel tech, sir?
Kennel tech, yes.
You're a kennel tech. What else are you?
Volunteer. That's where I started.
And what else are you?
I'm on the board.
Attaboy.
A volunteer board member. You guys both are.
Member. So now, you in a previous time, you were in law enforcement, is that correct?
Law enforcement and military.
And military.
Yeah.
Now, all the years of serving the fine people of whatever city you worked in, why is your time here at the Humane Society knee deep with the kennel techs and all the fun? Why? Awesome.
Fell into it by accident. You know, I traded human victims to. No. Just transitions from one victim being humans to the ones without voices in it. So, and that's how they kind of are at the shelter. You know, they came in as victims and they leave as new members of somebody's family. You know. There's
another just proof that all heroes don't wear capes.
He said that so touching, didn't he?
He did.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. We'll catch up with you here in the second half of the show, and we'll get to know a little bit about you and your job and all of that. But before we do that, now people should be glancing in their mailboxes right about now And what is going to be in there besides hopefully a Valentine's Day card?
Right, the no-show fur ball invitation.
Okay, now tell us about that.
So this is, we've been doing this in the 11 years I've been there. High Five has always donated and sponsored this fundraiser. So it's the cutest invitation. It really is. It's a no-show fur ball, and there's different amounts you can donate. It's got a cat and a dog dressed up in, you know, in tuxes and ball gowns and stuff, and it says, "I'll forego the tux or whatever, and you know, $25 for cat food or $50 or whatever you can do." And you know, the really nice thing about this is, and then you mail us back a check. And it's just an adorable invitation. Every year it's a different invitation. It's different pets on it. They're dressed different. And it's just one of the cutest things. And it's always been a very successful fundraiser for the Humane Society. And so watch your mailboxes for that. And what my experience in the years I've been there is a lot of people put this away. They may not have the money in February, but we actually will get money from them in December.
And that's the
throughout
beauty.
the year. That's the beauty of it. You know, if you can't do it right now, put it away and send us, you know, 20, 30, 40, whatever you can send us. Every dollar helps us. You know, a lot of people, Mike, are under the impression that we are funded, you know, by the government or the big animal welfare places, and we're not.
The government doesn't pay your paycheck?
No. Nope.
So it's every dollar counts. Every man hour that is volunteered counts. So much comes together that really does make the Humane Society of the White Mountains operate the way that it does.
Right. And obviously, you know, like you had said earlier, my goal when I started was to work myself right out of a job. That's not going to happen in my lifetime. But if people spay and neuter more, you know, that could become a closer reality in whoever becomes the director after me.
And there will always be strays. That will always be a problem. But if we could work on, you know, knocking those strays down, if we could just get nothing but lost dogs instead of strays, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Right. Yeah. And you know, on the stray end of it, we'll microchip for $20. $20, bring your pet out while we are open, which is Tuesday through Fridays from 10:30 to 5 and Saturdays 10 to 5. You don't need an appointment. Bring your pet out and we'll have techs there that can microchip your pet, and then we'll register it also for you for the $20.
That's a lot of value for what you're going to get when you get your forever friend there from the Humane Society of the White Mountains. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We're going to talk some more to John. We're going to find out some more upcoming events. And who knows, we might even talk about the 50th birthday party. That's all coming up in just a couple moments. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain. I'm your host, Mike Bosely. Of course, this is all about the Humane Society of the White Mountains. With us, we've got Deena Pace and John Wetch. Welcome you two again. Now, with us, we have a very rambunctious ball of energy. And John, who do we have with us today?
This is Sky.
This is Sky. And tell us a little bit about her.
She's about 1.5 years old. She's a Corgi mix. She's as you can see, a little rambunctious. She's not big on other small dogs. She'd be good with a family with no dogs, or maybe a large dog that we could test prior, and make sure that they're compatible. But she's a love. She's when she does slow down, she cuddles a little bit, a lot of kisses, a lot of affection.
I did get the kisses in before we walked on set. I got the face cleaning.
You got the face wash?
You know, and it's always nice. It's exfoliating, I've noticed.
Yes,
that rough tongue.
Yeah,
it's a little exfoliating.
We won't think of anything else other than that about it.
Right. That's now, how long has Sky been with the Humane Society?
Probably about 2 months maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
2 months or so.
Yeah.
And was she a stray or a surrender?
She came in as a stray.
As a stray.
Yeah.
So quite a young dog to be a stray, just running around out on her own, and a small young dog at that. So she, as John was saying, she's going to be great for the home that's got some kids.
Older kids.
Oh yeah, I was about to say maybe
Yeah.
not infants.
Yeah, she'll give them baths all the time. We want older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that.
Someone that's ready to run and play with her and work
Right.
out some of that energy, huh?
Yeah.
She is a very cute dog. You know, you were talking earlier about all the puppies there at the Humane Society. I did a tour of the Humane Society. Of course, I did it with some treats. But honestly, even if there's not a puppy that you can find, there's going to be a dog that you fall in love with once you walk through the shelter.
Absolutely.
There was so many that, I mean, sure, I wish I had a 4,000 square foot home that I could take some, and I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, you're in and around these dogs. How do you,
How do we not take them all home?
yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough, but we have to know that we're rehabilitating them and getting them ready for the best home that we can find them. You know, and you know, I just seen something the other day that, you know, some people are scared to come out to the shelter. It's sad, and you know, I guess I don't see it as sad because I know what happens there.
Right.
You know, I know how much love and care and everything they get there. But it said that, this thing I read said, you know, if you've been let down and disappointed by people, go to your Humane Society and adopt a dog or a cat because they also have been let down by people and heal together.
Oh,
Isn't that pretty neat? I
pretty
liked
neat.
that. Well, where are you going, little girl?
So you're not only a kennel tech, you're also a jungle gym,
Of sorts, yeah.
yes. Now, what are some of the duties that a kennel tech does? On what some of the stuff you do on a daily routine?
Well, there's the obvious with the scoops.
Of course. Never ending.
For instance, like today, I had my area was, you know, get the dogs all out to their temporary places for while we're cleaning their stalls. And we've got different areas for them. And then pick up their linens because they all get blankets. They've got their beds. Pick up their bowls.
They get fresh blankets every day.
Yes.
I don't even get that. That is
I don't either.
enforcement to
My dogs at home don't either.
yeah.
And it's just a matter of we foam, you know, clean the kennels, and on one day a week, Sundays, they'll clean twice with a chlorine bleach, as well as a good antibacterial soap. But clean them, get the areas dry, get their beds down, get treats on their beds, get their toys. They all get toys, and then get them back in after they feed for the day. And we walk them twice a day.
Walk them twice a day?
Yeah. So after we get their kennels clean, we'll walk them, get them back in. At least in this time of the year, we'll get them back in because of the temperatures. And then the afternoon, after their afternoon feeding, we'll get them walked once again.
Well, that doesn't sound anything sad at all. That sounds like, I mean, especially for being a stray, that's a life-saving place.
You know, actually what I tell a lot of people is, you know, you can tell, the ones that are sad are the ones you can tell came from a loving home, and no one ever thinks to come look at the only Humane Society if we have your pet. But those are the real sad ones to me.
Yeah.
And you can tell those ones. You know, the ones that have been on their own for a while, I mean, they're in seventh heaven. They've got it great there. They never have to worry about food, water, blankets, toys, walks. I mean, they have it all.
Right.
So those ones are always better with us than before they got to us.
Right.
But the ones that come out of a home that are never claimed are the hard ones to, you know, and you watch them get depressed, and you work very hard. The techs work very hard to keep them, you know, spirited and let them know how much they are loved.
Right, that there are people that are ready to give them love.
Absolutely.
Now, over the next couple of months, speaking of giving some love, I think there's a certain day that Arizona pretty much gives a bunch of love to the Humane Society?
They do, and that is the first Tuesday in April. I don't have the date in front of me, but you will start getting emails and watch on Facebook and everything, and we'll start putting out some of our stories that we've successfully.
I love those stories last year. They were awesome.
Thank you.
They were so heart-touching. They were great success stories. It was everything the Humane Society is.
Thank you. It is. And this year, I mentioned to one of the techs, I haven't told all of them or asked all of them yet, but I'm asking the techs to write some stories of their version of what they see and do. So, you know, on these different animals,
Yes.
so that we can share those, and Arizona gives also stories.
Well, that looks like a double bonus. Not only are we going to be able to help the Humane Society, but we'll get some inside looks at their perspectives.
Absolutely, you know, and they help so many. Last year we took in, I believe it was 1,207 animals.
Wow.
And we adopted out over 1,000, well into the 1,000. And then, of course, our inventory that's still in place.
Right.
So we did a lot of animals again last year. And again, it comes from the overpopulation problem that we do not have here.
Yeah, we do not have. I'd make the other here. You
Yeah.
have the last little tidbit.
Thanks.
Now that she's all
Now that
wrapped
she's-
around
yeah.
John.
John's got him stolen.
Now, what other events do we have coming up in the year?
You know, so of course, already we're looking at Happy Tales a little bit too.
Of course.
So if we have any volunteers out there that have ever run a fundraiser and is interested in being the chairperson of that this year, please get with me. I'm looking for a chair. I've got all kinds of leads in the different areas of it, but
Right.
we really, really need to get us a nice chair that will, you know, be over all the leads. So if anyone's interested in that, come see us. But before that, we're so excited. We're going to start we're planning
Yes.
now, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Our 50-year anniversary. 50 years is pretty big for us.
Yeah. Now, I and John, we watched a video in one of our board meetings about how much the Humane Society has grown, and I think the video was made in the early 90s.
Yes.
So, I mean, way before for that. Now, when the public, this 50th birthday party, are you going to be able to show the public what we've done over the last 50
Yes,
years?
we are. We're going to be able to show them through that video, and also by tours. We're going to be giving full tours. So everyone thinks, you know, when you come in to adopt an animal, what you see there is 20 kennels, 21 kennels with dogs,
Right.
and then you have the 2 cat rooms.
Uh-huh.
What they don't see is that we have more dogs and more cats in the back waiting to come off their stray hold, their owner surrender thing, waiting for their medicals. So we have 45 kennels.
Right.
And on that day, which is going to be Saturday, June 20th,
Yep.
we will be giving full tours of our surgery unit, of the education area, of everything that we have done in 50 years. And I am hoping that some of the original founders, I believe that we're going to have some early time people come too and
great.
be able to talk with people.
Right on.
And that's amazing that, you know, that they've been there all those years. It's the one that made that film that I showed you guys,
Oh,
that
yeah?
DVD. Yeah. Lloyd and Betty Lang. And so we're hoping that they can join us this year for our 50th anniversary.
That would be very, very special.
Yeah, they're still, I talk to them quite often, and they're very happy with where the Humane Society is today.
Well, good.
You know, that we have so many supporters and volunteers, and, you know, just a great place where we're at.
It's always hard when you build a legacy.
Yes.
And then you have to turn it over at some point in time to somebody, and, you know, the hopes that they're going to fill your shoes.
Yeah.
And very glad that we've done that.
Yeah,
And
I think
the
that,
50
yeah.
years.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, you know, and when you see what we started as, you know, you'll be able to see that day. Our thrift shop actually started in our surgery building.
Really?
Yeah, it started
That's
there.
where the thrift shop started.
That was where our doghouse started.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we've come a long way. And so that's another thing, the doghouse. What do you
That's
think?
right.
We should talk a little bit about that.
Let's talk about that.
Because the doghouse, Les, the manager there, is so busy, him and the guys there. So right now, the one gal that works there is off on a medical problem. She'll be coming back as soon as she's released. But there's 3 guys working there. You would not believe how nice that store is. I mean, I'm impressed every time I walk in and I tell them, you know, what an amazing job. So they're running different sales all the time. You don't know what's on sale unless you watch their Facebook, which is the Doghouse Thrift Shop.
Right.
Watch their Facebook, or better yet, stop in.
Look for the flappy guy outside.
Yeah, weather providing, on the really big sales, he's got the flappy guy, the big green machine.
That's okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, you know, a lot of people don't understand that this is our everyday fundraiser, our Doghouse is. And so our hours over there for the winter are Tuesday through Saturdays from 10 to 5. And you never know what you're going to find in there. We have everything from movies, books, to outside. We have potentially, a lot of times we'll have doors or ceiling fans or, you know, something. And then we have furniture, we have electronics, we have clothing. You name it, I think we have it at one point or another. Knickknacks, really nice knickknacks, you know, and things that are so often new things that's never been used.
Right. And that's one thing I love about the Doghouse Thrift Shop, how it's almost like a pretend store, because I mean it's stuff that's so new, it's not a thrift shop.
Exactly.
So that being said, the Doghouse Thrift Shop is the main money maker. Therefore, it's what helps fund the Humane Society. And then of course the Happy Tails, that helps fund the Humane Society. There's all kinds of ways to give to the Humane Society.
Absolutely.
And one of those ways is, just as Deena was saying, we're looking for volunteers for Happy Tails. We're looking for somebody to head up Happy Tails, and of course there's always volunteer opportunities. So if you are looking to do some volunteering, Deena, what's a number to get a hold of them?
368-5295 at the shelter.
Yep.
And then over at the Doghouse, 368-2248.
All right. So we hope to see you there at the Humane Society, sometime at the shelter, definitely at the 50th birthday party. That's going to do it for this month, and we will see you next month. And by the way, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Thank you. Same to you. And
Thank
watch
you.
for your no-show fur ball.
That's right. Keep the eyes on the mailbox for that invitation. We'll see you next time.